Hello my dear friends, we now move on to the next segment, and that is about liquid N2O4 as a solvent. So we begin with the properties of N2O4. So some of the points are, point number 1 is, its melting point is going to be 281 Kelvin and boiling point is 294 Kelvin. That's point number 1. Point number 2 is its dielectric constant is 2.42, which is considered to be low at 291 Kelvin. अगर डाइलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट लो है तो जाहिर सी बात है उसका पोलैरिटी लेस होगा, उसका डाइपोल मोमेंट भी कम होगा, एंड देयरफॉर वी से कि इट इज़ नॉट अ गुड सॉल्वेंट फॉर आयनिक सॉल्यूट्स. It is not a good solvent for ionic solutes, but it's a good solvent for covalent, या हम लोग बोलते हैं उसको organic compounds. Okay, we call it as organic compounds because they are generally non-polar in nature. This is point number 3. Next one is point number 4, and that is it shows Lewis acid character. अब लुइस एसिड का मतलब क्या होता है, एंड दैट इज वेरी सिंपल कि एसिड है तो इट इज गोइंग टू एक्सेप्ट ए ऑफ एसिड एंड ए ऑफ एक्सेप्ट, ये याद रखिएगा. अब एक्सेप्ट क्या, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. सो लुइस एसिड है, दैट मीन्स दे आर गोइंग टू एक्सेप्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. अगर एक्सेप्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन किया तो उसका रिडक्शन होगा, और अगर उसका खुद का रिडक्शन हुआ तो जाहिर सी बात है कि अदर्स विल अंडरगो ऑक्सीडेशन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई इट इज अ गुड ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट. It is going to be a strong oxidizing agent, because whatever happens with the another substance, that word has to be written before the agent. So the other substance will undergo oxidation because it itself undergoes reduction, and therefore it is a strong oxidizing agent. All right. Next thing is, as far as ionization process is concerned, N2O4 will undergo ionization to give you NO plus and NO3 minus. This is nitrosyl. This, you know, it is nitrate ion. Now what happens is this reaction takes place to a lesser extent. Now why lesser extent? You are smart enough, you have understood this. Why it is? Because its dielectric constant is less, उसका polarity less है. Okay, और इसलिए this reaction takes place to a lesser extent. But this ionization can increase in presence of polar solvents, or we call it as ionizing solvents, and such as an example I will give you is nitromethane. Okay, nitromethane ये एक आयनाइजिंग सॉल्वेंट है. ऐसे बहुत सारे और भी सॉल्वेंट्स हैं, तो उसके प्रेजेंस में ये आयनाइजेशन रिएक्शंस विल बिकम व्हाट, फास्टर, एंड यू गेट मोर नाइट्रोसिल एंड नाइट्रेट आयंस इन लेसर टाइम, एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई मीन बाय आयनाइजेशन रिएक्शंस, फास्टर. So this is, my dear friends, about the properties of N2O4. Number 1 is its melting point and boiling point is quite convenient. If you can see the temperature over here, 273 Kelvin is 0 degrees Celsius. So it's somewhere between 281 to 294 Kelvin. So that's going to be very convenient. Next one is we say its dielectric constant is very less. It is only 2.42, and therefore it's not a good solvent for ionic solutes. But yes, it's a good one for organic non-polar compounds. Next is it shows a Lewis acid character. It has an ability to accept electrons. It undergoes reduction, and therefore it's a strong oxidizing agent. It undergoes ionization to give a nitrosyl ion and a nitrate ion, but this extent of ionization will increase if the same reaction is carried out in presence of ionizing substances such as nitromethane. Okay, so that it increases. Alright, so this is about the properties of N2O4. My dear friends, I'm very sure you have understood this very well. My dear friends, we move into the next part, and that is about the two reactions, acid base and redox, with reference to N2O4. So we begin with acid base reaction. My dear friends, I explained you about ionization reactions, and that was N2O4 resulting in the formation of NO plus and NO3 minus. Also, I made a reference, that is the cations have acidic properties and the anions have basic properties. यानी जो भी सल्यूट N2O4 में नाइट्रोसिल आयन देगा वो एसिडिक कैरेक्टर दिखाएगा और जो भी नाइट्रेट आयन देगा वो बेसिक कैरेक्टर दिखाएगा. So on that basis, I'll give you a couple of examples, and that is NOBr plus AgNO3. Let us consider this. So Ag and Br will form bonds with each other. So you get AgBr and plus you get NaNO3. Similarly, if I talk about say NOCl and I treat this with NaNO3, then it results in the formation of NaCl and you get NaNO3. So it gives you your N2O4. Here also it will give you N2O4. That is, this is a salt and this is a solvent. Okay, these are acids because it gives NO plus, and these are bases AgNO3 and NaNO3 because they give NO3 minus. Okay, this gives NO plus, that's why it is acid. This gives NO3 minus, that's why it is base. So acid and base reacting to give you salt and solvent. This is what you learned in your lower classes also with respect to acid-base reactions. Okay, the next reaction we have is redox reaction. During ammonia, मैंने आपको explain किया था कि reduction and oxidation taking place simultaneously, लेकिन दो species अलग अलग होंगे. जिसका रिडक्शन हो रहा है, जिसका ऑक्सीडेशन होगा, वो अलग अलग होंगे. उस रिएक्शन को हम रेडॉक्स रिएक्शन बोलेंगे. सो कुछ एग्जांपल देता हूँ मैं आपको, एंड दैट इज Na being treated with N2O4, so that is going to give you NO and it gives you NaNO3. अब सोडियम is an isolated state, so its charge is 0. यहाँ पर every oxygen का charge is -2, so -2 into 4 gives you -8. तो दो नाइट्रोजन मिला के चार्ज होना चाहिए +8, यानी इंडिविजुअल नाइट्रोजन के ऊपर चार्ज होगा +4. यहाँ पर ऑक्सीजन का चार्ज इज -2, सो नाइट्रोजन का चार्ज विल बी +2. तो +4 से +2 दैट इज रिडक्शन हुआ है. अब यहाँ पे सोडियम इज एन अल्कली मेटल, तो इट इज़ इन अ कंबाइंड स्टेट, सो इस चार्ज इज +1. तो ये 0 से +1 हुआ है, यानी उसका ऑक्सीडेशन हुआ है. सो सोडियम का ऑक्सीडेशन और नाइट्रोजन का रिडक्शन, इससे साबित हो जाता है कि बोथ ऑफ देम आर डिफरेंट स्पीशीज बट दे आर पार्ट ऑफ द सेम रिएक्शन, एंड देयरफॉर वी से इट इज अ redox reaction. Okay, sometimes the salt of this particular solvent also has an ability to undergo redox reaction. So I give an example, and that is zinc, and I treat it with NOCl. See, NO plus is the cation of N2O4. So the cation of the solvent combining with any anion is called as a salt of that solvent. Okay, so NOCl being treated with zinc, it results in the formation of zinc chloride plus NO. So if I make it 2NOCl, I make this as 2NO. So here what happens is zinc is in isolated state, that is 0. यहाँ पे zinc का charge हो जाता है +2. So that means 0 to +2, यानी जाहिर सी बात है इसका क्या होगा, ऑक्सीडेशन होगा. Okay. Now when you talk about NOCl, Cl का charge is -1, oxygen का charge is -2. So nitrogen का charge will be +3. +3 and -2 gives you +1 and -1 gives you 0. Okay, so nitrogen का charge कितना होगा, +3. यहाँ पे नाइट्रोजन का चार्ज है +2 क्योंकि ऑक्सीजन का चार्ज है -2. यानी आप देख सकते हो +3 से +2 मतलब उसका क्या हुआ, रिडक्शन. ओके, सो यहाँ पर इफ यू कैन कंक्लूड दैट इज zinc undergoes oxidation, so 0 to +2, and nitrogen undergoes reduction from +3 to +2. Okay, so this is, my dear friends, the couple of examples for redox, couple of examples for acid-base reaction, and these are the two reactions which is to be considered with respect to N2O4. So we have learnt about कि N2O4 का प्रॉपर्टीज़ क्या है और फिर N2O के नज़रिए से acid-based reactions और redox reactions के मैंने couple of examples दिए हैं. So I hope you have understood this concept very well.